Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Shameless in Chicago. This is your host, Nin.
And I'm Luke.
And on today's episode, in honor of cuffing season and it being officially October and fall, we're going to be talking about attachment styles.
Like a truck and a trailer kind of deal?
No, not like hitching a ride attachments, like relationship attachments.
Oh. Why do I feel like this is going somewhere bad?
It's not going anywhere bad, but I feel like most people during cuffing season are a little bit like, what do I like? What am I like in a relationship? And because of that, Dr. Levin and Rachel Heller wrote this book called Attached. It says, The New Science of Adult Attachment and How It Can Help You Find and Keep Love.
So tell me more about this. This is like a new study because we kind of talked about love languages before.
Yeah.
Are attachment styles kind of the same as love languages, or are these like something completely different?
So love languages, as we mentioned before, was by another physician or psychologist, something like that. I kind of forgot. But no, that's just how you show love. Attachment styles is how you function in relationships. So let me read a little bit about this. So in Attached, Levine and Heller revealed how an understanding of adult attachment, the most advanced relationship science in existence today, can help us find and sustain love. Pioneered by psychologist John Bowlby in the 1950s, the field of attachment posits that each of us behaves in relationships in one of three distinctive ways. Anxious. People are often preoccupied with their relationships and tend to worry about their partner's ability to love them back. Avoidant. People equate intimacy with the loss of independence and constantly try to minimize closeness. And secure people feel comfortable with intimacy and are usually warm and loving. Levine and Heller guide readers in determining what attachment style they and their mate or potential mate follow, offering a roadmap for building stronger, more fulfilling connections with the people they love.
Okay, so how does this relate to cuffing season then?
So I feel that during cuffing season, right, because of these three ways, you have anxious, avoidant, and secure. And also another way is anxious avoidant when you have both of the personalities.
So hold on, I have a question. Back
Yeah.
up right there. There's only those three or a combination?
So you can have anxious, avoidant, and secure. So it's 4.
So these sound like 3 out of 4 options are bad.
Well, they're not healthy.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
only one secure attachment style?
Yeah. Secure is the healthiest
You
one,
have a
obviously.
75% chance of being insecure. How does that feel?
Yeah, secure is actually the least common one. Like, you're not going to find, like, it's really hard to find a secure partner. So I feel like this is important because I feel like oftentimes in relationships, people really personalize things and they're like, oh, my partner doesn't love me. There must be something wrong with me, right? And then oftentimes an avoidant person will be like, oh my God, like this person is too clingy. They want too much from me. I'm incapable of being in a relationship and loving somebody else. So to kind of like break that and for you to better understand your personality and how you function in relationships, I think it would be fun to just talk about it and also put Luke through a test.
See, I knew there was something coming here. I don't know what it is, but you've been throwing me some weird flashcards and test stuff lately. I don't appreciate it.
I think it's so fun. I think it's
Is
just...
that why there's a notebook here?
Yes, that's exactly why there's a notebook here because Luke really has to, you know, take down some notes and we're going to score him. And also, you guys can find this test online. We are going to attach the link in the description box and you can take the test as well. So this test essentially is to find out what your attachment style is. It's called the Experience in Close Relationship Questionnaire.
Yeah, I'm not really prepared for this, but how do we take this test? Is it kind of like an old magazine style?
So no. So the questionnaire is you are going to check the boxes next to each statement that is true for you. If the answer is untrue, don't mark the item at all. It basically says a question. For example, the first one says, I often worry that my partner will stop loving me. A, B, or C, right? So there's only a box in A, so I'm going to check A if it's true. If it's not true for me, I'm not going to check it. A, B, and C are for each of the relationships types. So A might be secure attachment style, B might be avoidant attachment style, and C might be anxious attachment style. And then when you add up all of your boxes at the very end, it'll tell you which type you have. When I took this back in 2021, I ended up scoring as an anxious avoidant. So let's see what Luke is. After Luke, tell us a little bit about you and your partner. So you've been together for now almost 3 years, mashallah.
Over 3 years.
No, over 3 years.
We're going on our 4th year. We hit our 3rd year in November of 2020. Oh,
no, you didn't.
Wow.
Yeah. Luke, tell us a little bit about your relationship.
Well, we are almost going to hit our 3-year mark.
Mashallah,
this
yeah.
year.
That's exciting.
We see each other very consistently, like 3 to 5 times a week. I think the only days that I don't see him, I see you.
Facts. 'Cause I am the other relationship. I'm his OG wife.
Yeah. I think we've really grown a lot together. We've moved around. We got him a cat. We've really ingrained ourselves into each other's families and each other's lives. It's great.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've got like a healthy mix in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're going to take this test, I also want to talk about how important it is to be in happy and healthy and sustainable relationships. So when I first took this test, I was just entering in my relationship with Armand, and that was in 2021. October 31st, 2021 was our anniversary.
I want to pause you right there.
Yeah.
This is the girl who makes her anniversary with every friend, every boyfriend, everyone she knows October 31st. So that way she doesn't have to remember everything, every date.
Actually, Armand is the one who asked me on Halloween, so that was not me.
So it just works out that way.
It honestly worked out so well. I'm not going to lie.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, when I was looking over my answers on this questionnaire when I first started dating Armand, and then now fast forward to the future, Armand and I have since broken up, but we're still remain in a healthy relationship. But he has a secure attachment style. I can say that 100%. He has a secure attachment style. So his security kind of helped aid me in my anxiousness and my avoidance within relationships. And since then, when I'm looking back at this test, there have been some things that I almost feel sad for old me that she marked it as true. So if only we had taken this test for you a few years ago to see how you've changed within the few years.
Oh boy, that was a different person. So how am I going to be answering these questions? Should I just list down the question number and write A, B, or C if I find those options to be true?
So no. So how we're going to do it is it says, I often worry that my partner will stop loving me. You'll tell me if that's true or false. And so if you say true, I'll say, just write the letter A.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Again, if you want to take this exam, we are including it in the description box. And it is called the Experience in Close Relationship Questionnaire.
And if we get the same results, let me know.
Yeah, that'll be so fun. Okay. I often worry that my partner will stop loving me.
False.
Okay, mark nothing. I wrote true. I was worried that my partner would stop loving me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That was old Nin. Current Nin does not worry about that anymore. No, she does not. She does not worry about that. Okay, number 2.
Okay.
I find it easy to be affectionate with my partner.
True.
B. My anxious avoidant self marked false. Yeah, I did not find it easy to be affectionate with my partner.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, we're all on top of each other, and I'm big on PDA.
Oh, well, now I find it so easy to be affectionate with my partner.
I'm so big on PDA, it's annoying.
Yeah, I will love and squeeze the shit out of you. Number 3, I fear that once someone gets to know the real me, they won't like who I am.
True.
Mark A.
I mean, everyone's afraid of that because no one knows you at your most like sloth-like self at home.
I don't know, but doesn't your partner currently love you for who you are?
I guess so, but when you kind of the journey getting there is very rocky.
Yeah,
so I can see that insecurity. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I gave little bits of myself as we went along in our early days of dating. I didn't want to throw everything all at once.
Yeah. My old self marked true. I feared that once someone got to know the real me, they wouldn't like who I was. Armand got to know all of me in ways that I didn't even know myself, and he still loved me. So because thanks to him, I no longer have that fear. Okay, next. I find that I bounce back quickly after a breakup. It's weird how I can just put someone out of my mind.
My last breakup was so long ago. I guess like from there, I don't know how I would answer.
Okay, so you don't have to mark anything.
Yeah, I'd like to think I could bounce back, but who knows when you're heartbroken?
No, that's actually very true. And what is quickly? Like, what is bouncing back
I've always
quickly?
heard like the rule for rebound is a week for every month that you were together. Is that considered quickly?
I always heard the rule of thumb was you mourn for the length of half of the relationship.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just the way you're comfortable grieving.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. When like me and Armand first split up, I cried. I definitely cried for that. But now that we're still friends and in each other's lives, I'm good. I'm fine. Next, when I'm not involved in a relationship, I feel somewhat anxious and incomplete.
False.
Yeah, I marked false for that too. I find it difficult to emotionally support my partner when they're feeling down.
False.
I also marked false. When my partner is away, I'm afraid that they might become interested in someone else.
False.
I marked true.
Really?
Yeah, Olden marked true. Now it'd be false. Yeah, no. When Armand would leave and go and do things, I'd be like, bitch, you wish you would find somebody better than me, please. Next, I feel comfortable depending on romantic partners.
What does that mean?
Whatever you want it to mean.
I feel comfortable depending on romantic, like my comfort depends on my romantic partner?
No, you feel comfortable depending on your romantic partner for emotional stability, financial stability, whatever you want it to be.
I mean, yeah, like I look to him for comfort.
So do you feel like you can depend on him?
Yes.
Okay. Mark B.
Bab.
When Old Me took this, I marked false. I did not feel comfortable depending on a romantic partner. Ask me today, and if I find the right one, I will feel comfortable. I felt really comfortable depending on Armand. Next, my independence is more important to me than my relationships.
True.
True?
Yes, true.
C.
C? Mm-hmm. There's a C?
Yep.
Okay.
I also marked C. And today, I think I would mark false. I think relationships are really important. And I think that when two people are together and they can balance each other out, then you're good for each other. But also, don't over-depend on your partner. Don't lose your individuality.
That's why I think it's important. Your independence is important regardless if you're in a relationship or not. That's kind of how I was raised with that mindset. Mm-hmm. You need to be yourself regardless of who you're with.
Very true. I prefer not to share my innermost feelings with my partner.
False.
I'd agree. Today, I'd mark false. Back then, I marked true. I did not like sharing my feelings with my partner. When I show my partner how I feel, I'm afraid they will not feel the same about me.
False.
I also would mark false. At that time, I marked true. I was afraid they wouldn't feel the same about me, which is so sad. Oh, poor younger Nan. I am generally satisfied with my romantic relationships.
True.
Mark B. I marked false. I said that was not true for me. Today, I would say it was true. I was really satisfied with my relationship, thank God. I don't feel the need to act out much in my romantic relationships.
True.
Mark B. I would also say true, and I also said true back then. I think about my relationship a lot.
True.
Mark A. I marked A then, and I would mark A still. I do think about my relationship a lot. I find it difficult to depend on romantic partners.
False.
False? Okay, mark nothing. I find it difficult to depend on my romantic partner. Back then, I marked true, and today I would mark false. So improvement, guys. I'm saying this to show you all how important it is to be in happy, healthy relationships and how happy and healthy and secure relationships can really, truly rub off on you. And some of these things that Luke is even answering to, I'm thinking about like the old version of Luke. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear him say false or true because I'm like, oh my God, old Luke would have a completely different. Yeah, exactly. Happy and healthy and secure relationships really do a lot of positive impact for a person. Next, I tend to get very quickly attached to a romantic partner.
False.
False for me back then and today. I have little difficulty expressing my needs and wants to my partner.
I have little difficulty? True.
True? Mark B. Back then I marked false, but today I would mark true. Little difficulty. Why would you say you have little difficulty expressing your needs and wants to your partner?
Because, like, you know, if I've been in a relationship for almost 3 years, and marriage is always on, like, the forefront of our minds. If you're going to live with someone forever, you have to get comfortable that you have to, A, be yourself, and B, know how to communicate with each other. Because I get frustrated, and I need to say my frustrations. I need to say things that are wrong with me. Otherwise, you're just going to boil up inside of me. We talked about this in our Dealing with Conflict episode. And I can certainly say, even from then, I think I've improved more because I'm better at facing those feelings up front and saying, hey, let's have a conversation about this now before it becomes an issue later.
Yeah, so you feel like expressing your needs and your partner allowing that safe space for you to express your needs, you have very little difficulty.
Absolutely. And while me saying what I need to say may lead to, you know, some other conversations, but that's okay because you're supposed to have those conversations. You can't live with someone and just have a regular white picket fence boring life because it doesn't exist. There's conflict everywhere. How we manage that conflict is what's important.
No, I would have to agree wholeheartedly. Old me marked false. I had a lot of difficulty expressing my needs and wants to a partner. I always felt like if I was expressing my wants and needs, I was becoming clingy and needy and all of that. And then once I got into a relationship and I expressed like my wants and needs and my emotional state and my emotional well-being, and I had a receptive partner who created a safe space for me, it was kind of like, oh, a lot happens when you communicate, and it helps fuel the relationship for better. Next, I sometimes feel angry or annoyed with my partner without knowing why.
False.
Okay. I marked true back then, and I would mark true now. Not because of anything. He's looking at me right now. I did get annoyed with him without knowing why. And today was one of those days I got annoyed with him without knowing why. But honestly, every woman that's listening to this knows exactly why. It's our hormonal phase. It's our cycle. We get annoyed and angry and agitated, and we have no idea why.
Did I make this a safe space for you?
Yes, you
to talk
did.
about this?
Yes, you
I
did.
apologize that I made you believe that this was a safe space.
Women get their periods, and when they bleed out of their vaginas every month, they go through hormonal changes that cause them to be emotional and reactive that they cannot control.
I am the physical embodiment of dodge the bullet.
All right, next. I am very sensitive to my partner's moods.
True.
Mark A. I marked true then, and I would mark true now. Why are you sensitive to your partner's moods?
It's a connection. Like, you have like an empathic connection between you and your partner. If there's something wrong with them, there's something wrong with you, because if they're not happy, why should you be happy? Because if there's a problem in their life, then there's a problem in your life, because that person is your life.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. I feel like you should be sensitive to your partner's moods and their needs. And if they're not having a good day, it doesn't mean you should have a bad day as well. No, it just means that you should be empathetic to their cause and that you should be the shoulder to cry on.
Bring a little attention, you know, like say, hey, what's going on here? Let's talk it out. You want to get something off your chest.
Love that. Next, I believe most people are essentially honest and dependable.
False.
Yeah, I marked false back then, and I would still mark false today. I feel like with all of the things we've heard about relationships, and even like our friends' relationships, we're just kind of like, ugh, you know?
Do I mark anything down for that one?
No, you don't.
Okay, cool.
Next question. I prefer casual sex with uncommitted partners to intimate sex with one person.
False.
Well, false, yeah.
Of course.
I marked false back then, and I would mark false today. Yeah, look at me like that. But intimacy with one partner who truly loves you, like making love and fucking for pleasure are two different things.
God, she's just ruining our algorithm left and right.
I'm just telling you. Next question. I'm comfortable sharing my personal thoughts and feelings with my partner.
I feel like I've heard this question 3 times already, but true.
B. I marked true back then, and I would mark true again today. I worry that if my partner leaves me, I might never find someone else.
False.
Okay. Yeah. I marked false back then, and I would mark false again today. It makes me nervous when my partner gets too close.
False.
I marked true back then. It made me nervous when my partner got too close. Like when me and Armand first started dating and he told me he loved me, I was like, no, you don't. Stop. Like, it gave me the ick. I was like, oh, no. And then, so that's why I marked true. But today I'm like, no, it does not make me nervous. It means that your partner is in touch with their feelings and their emotions. If it's coming from a secure place, not from like an anxious type of, if I tell you you love me, maybe you won't leave me type of thing.
Moving on.
During a conflict, I tend to impulsively do or say things I later regret rather than be able to reason about things.
I try to avoid conflict, so false.
Yeah, you guys should listen to that in our other podcast, how Luke
would rather ghost
than face conflict. Next question. An argument with my partner doesn't usually cause me to question our entire relationship.
Well, I mean, I feel like an argument brings up like your hormone levels high and like you're stressing out about things and you think about the worst case scenario, but I don't think that genuinely long term an argument would affect my standing look on my relationship.
So true.
Sure.
So B.
B.
Yep. I marked false back then. Old anxious avoidant Nin felt that if I got into an argument with somebody that our relationship was about to end because it led to ending every single time.
You know, I used to be like that too. I remember when I used to see my friends in relationships get into arguments, I'd be like, so are you guys okay?
No, literally.
Are you guys
literally.
gonna break up?
Oh my God, I remember when I was like driving once with my friend and her boyfriend at the time, who was her now husband, to Dave & Buster's, and they got into a full-blown fight, so much so that he Ubered himself back home at the Dave & Buster's. And I was like, so are you guys just like breaking up now?
No, girl, it's a Thursday.
No, literally, it's just every other day. Yeah. So old me marked like, yeah, an argument would cause me to question the entire relationship. Today, yeah. My partners want me to be more intimate than I feel comfortable being.
False.
False. I'd agree. I worry that I'm not attractive enough.
I mean, that was an old concern, but these days, no, I feel it myself a lot.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Your confidence makes you glow differently.
Yeah, even if I'm wearing my bed head still.
Yeah. See, I marked true. Old Nin marked true. Current Nin would mark false. Oh my God, I think I'm the baddie of the block.
Fuck
please. Yeah. As you should. Don't compare yourself to other people. Like, I don't compare myself to other women. Luke doesn't compare himself to other gay men. He's just confident in himself, and your confidence is what will attract somebody.
Compare yourself to Jennifer Lopez. Anyone can fall low. That just means you can get higher.
Exactly. Sometimes people see me as boring because I create little drama in relationships.
Is that how you see me?
No, I'm asking you, do you find this true or false?
I mean, I don't think anyone's ever found me boring, but it's not because I create drama.
My friend's current husband called me boring once.
I remember that.
It was so funny.
Oh.
I miss my partner when we're apart, but then when we're together, I feel the need to escape.
False.
False? Okay. I marked true. Old Nin marked true. Current Nin would mark false. Oh my God.
You really have to think about these questions for a second.
Yeah.
Like, how's that worded?
Yeah, I miss my partner, but then when we're together, I need to escape. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe I marked true. Oh my God. Thank God that's changed. When I disagree with someone, I feel comfortable expressing my opinions.
True.
Mark B.
It's always a B, huh?
Mm-hmm. So I marked true back then, and I would mark true again today. I love disagreeing. I like fighting for fun. Like, it just gets me going. I hate feeling that other people depend on me.
False.
I agree. False. If I notice that someone I'm interested in is checking out other people, I don't let it faze me. I might feel a pinch of jealousy, but it's fleeting.
True.
B.
Everyone's got eyes. It's not like you're not going to use them, right?
Facts. But you get a little jealous?
Oh, yeah, you're in a relationship. You're supposed to get jealous. If you don't get a little jealous, there's probably a problem there.
Oh, okay. Well, I marked false back then, and I would mark it false today. I don't get jealous if you... I mean, if it's just like here and there, you're looking at a girl, because I'll check her out too. I'll be like, damn.
Yeah, that's how I think about it. But in the moment, you're like, is he looking at another guy? And then you're looking at the guy he's looking at, and you're like, oh.
No, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But if he's like always looking at other girls, or in your case, other guys, then that's when we're going to have an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would used to tell Armand, look at that girl, look at her ass. Oh my God, look at her ass. And he would be like, I'm looking at yours and it's looking great to me. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But look. Anyways, If I notice that someone I'm interested in is checking out other people, I feel relieved. It means they're not looking to make things exclusive.
False.
False, yeah. If I notice that someone I'm interested in is checking out other people, it makes me feel depressed.
False.
I marked true back then because I was so insecure. I marked true. I would mark false now, as I told you guys. Yeah, no, I'd mark false. Thank God. If someone I've been dating begins to act cold and distant, I may wonder what's happened, but I'll know it's probably not about me.
False.
Okay. I marked false then, and I'll mark false today too, because anytime somebody acts distant, I start to think of everything I've done.
Every time you think my text bubbles have turned green, you think I block you. She calls me, she says, hello? Hello? Oh, I'm just checking.
Okay. And? Okay, last 5 ones. If someone I've been dating begins to act cold and distant, I'll probably be indifferent. I might even be relieved.
False.
Okay. If someone I've been dating begins to act cold and distant, I'll worry that I've done something wrong.
True.
Mark A. I marked true then, and I would mark true again today. If my partner was to break up with me, I try my best to show them what they're missing.
False.
False. Yeah, I marked false then, and I'd mark false again today.
Move on with your life.
No, literally. If someone I've been dating for several months tells me they want to stop seeing me, I'd feel hurt at first, but I'd get over it.
After a few months?
Yeah.
True.
Mark B. I too marked true then, and I'd mark true again today. Last 2. Sometimes when I get what I want in a relationship, I'm not sure what I want anymore.
False.
I marked true back then, and today I would mark false. I won't have much of a problem staying in touch with my ex. Strictly platonic. After all, we have a lot in common.
I've never stayed in touch with an ex. So I would have to say false.
Okay, for me, I would mark true because obviously I'm still friends with my ex and love him so much. All right, now add up all of your checked boxes in column A, column B, and column C. Okay, so did you add them all up?
Yes, for the A's, we have 4.
Okay.
For the B's, we have 10. And for the C's, we have 1.
Ooh, I'm so excited to report. If you have majority, category A represents the anxious attachment style. Category B is the secure attachment style. And category C represents the avoidant attachment style.
Woohoo! I'm secure!
He's finally secure. Okay, now knowing a little bit about these, what would you say old Luke probably was?
Avoidant.
Avoidant?
Avoidant as hell.
Okay.
Yep, no, he could walk away from a relationship with no issues saying, okay, no problem. Back on Grindr I go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, he was avoidant for sure.
Okay, cool. So do you too resonate with being in a happy, healthy, and secure relationship has really helped you get to this point?
I think so, because I got into my happy, healthy relationship as I was in that state of avoidance. And then something about it just kept me in there. And then ever since, I feel like I've baked into this wonderful man.
Okay, so another question that I have for you is that when you first got into your relationship with your partner, did you feel your avoidant tendencies kind of make it difficult to get really close to your partner? They were gone.
They were literally gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There was nothing casual about us.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, when I first got into my relationship with Armand, my anxiousness kind of reared its ugly head. Also, my avoidance also reared itself, except Armand fought for me and always reassured me. So then I was able to, at a certain point, get out of my head. Also, I was really blessed at the time with a group counseling psychology class, and we would imitate like group counseling. And I told my classmates, which is a group filled of to-be psychologists, telling them about like my attachment style, my difficulty with relationships, and everyone's like, what do you have to lose if you just stick to it and overcome it and overcome your fears?
There it is.
And what did I have to lose? Absolutely nothing. I actually gained everything. So a little bit about these for those of you who are still kind of like iffy of like what's an anxious, what's a secure, what's an avoidant, I'll read to you the highlighted parts. So for an anxious person, you often fear that your partner does not wish to be as close as you would like them to be. You tend to be very sensitive to small fluctuations in your partner's moods and actions. And although your senses are often accurate, you take your partner's behaviors too personally. As a result, you tend to act out and say things you later regret. If the other person provides a lot of security and reassurance, however, you are able to shed much of your preoccupation and feel content. An avoidant person. An avoidant, it is very important for you to maintain your independence and self-sufficiency, and you often prefer autonomy to intimate relationships. So you would rather be a bachelor or a bachelorette lifestyle instead of being in an intimate and healthy and secure relationship. Even though you do not want to be close to others, you feel uncomfortable with too much closeness and tend to keep your partner at arm's length. You don't spend too much time worrying about your romantic relationships or about being rejected. You tend to not open up to your partners, and they often complain that you are emotionally distant. In relationships, you are often on high alert for any signs of control or impingement on your territory by your partner. And then the very last one, secure, which is the one that Luke is today. Being warm and loving in a relationship comes naturally to you. You enjoy being intimate without becoming overly worried about your relationship. You take things in stride when it comes to romance and don't get easily upset over relationship matters. You effectively communicate your needs and feelings to your partner and are strong at reading your partner's emotional cues and responding to them. You share your successes and problems with your mate and are able to be there for them or let them in your times of need.
I feel so secure, and I'm so happy that I wrote I love you in Chinese, and I surrounded it with a bunch of little hearts because it makes me so happy for love.
I love that. That makes me so happy. Yeah. No, it's so cute, and I think it's so important. Again, I think this book can be very helpful for those of you that are trying to get into a relationship or having difficulty with relationships, to just better understand yourself and how you operate and how you understand relationships. I first got this book when I first started my relationship with Armand. So I was able to reflect how I was treated in old relationships and how I needed to stop doing some of the things that I did. In avoidant relationships, you'll start to cause problems where there isn't any. And I did recognize myself doing a lot of those. And in an anxious relationship style, you'll always be like, do you love me? Do you love me? And then even though they love you and show you that they love you, you'll still feel like if they say like, hey, your hair looks bad, you'll be like, oh my God, you think I'm ugly.
Yeah, I don't think I could live like that at this big age.
Big age?
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. Alrighty, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope you check out this book, Attached, by Amir Levin and Rachel S.F. Heller, and learn a couple of things for yourself. I highly, highly recommend it. And until the next episode, everyone.
Please join us next time as Nin takes part in her first ever episode of Fear Factor Turkey.
Fear Factor Turkey? I thought you were going to have me go on Love is Blind or something.
Yeah, I know. I kind of lied to you. I gave you the wrong application.
Oh, man. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you meet your potential forever partner. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, give us a 5-star rating anywhere you stream this podcast, and we will see you guys all back here next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.